Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Culture Wave Media Network. It is I, Darian Scalamoni, here with a shorter review for you guys, a solo review for the most recent film at the top of the box office, right behind The Devil Wears Prada 2. It is Mortal Kombat 2. Right here, I got my Mortal Kombat 2 accessory I got at the movie theater. I thought it was a popcorn bucket. It's not. Still a really cool accessory, though, that's kind of an homage to the original arcade game of Mortal Kombat that I grew up playing, and I'm excited to dive into this with you guys. This is a movie that the original film, I saw it when it was during COVID. It went right to HBO Max, and I had a fun time with it, but there were a lot of things that I had a lot of gripes with when it came to the actual story and where we were going with it. This one does bring back Simon McQuoid to direct it. I believe he also might have wrote the screenplay as well. He has, or Jeremy Slater wrote the screenplay for this one. And the big news on this movie, obviously, is the fact that Carl Urban, best known for being Billy Butcher in Prime Video's The Boys, as well as playing Judge Dredd in the Dredd reboot, is playing Johnny Cage, the iconic Johnny Cage from the Mortal Kombat games in this film. We also have the debut of Kitana, played by Adeline Rudolph. Tati Gabriel comes in as Jade. We have Baraka in this film for the first time. Quan Chi, played by Damon Harriman. So a lot of characters from the lore of the video games coming into this film, but excited to talk about this one with you guys. I had a good time with this movie. It wasn't unbelievable. It wasn't one of the best movies I've seen of the year, but as an entertaining popcorn shove in your mouth flick, I mean, this is a good one to kind of go off of. The action sequences are very, very reminiscent of the game. There's a lot of great fatalities that happen in this. The biggest shout out I could give this movie in terms of pros is the fight sequences. There's a lot of great fights in this film. Liu Kang and the resurrected, I believe it's Kung Lao. Yeah, it's Kung Lao. Have a great fight sequence in this film that is probably my favorite that I've seen thus far in the franchise. Bring back Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion to take out Noob Saibot, who's played again by Joe Taslim, who returns as Bihan, formerly Sub-Zero in the last film. He goes up against Scorpion, and Kano is a part of it, as well as Carl Urban's Johnny Cage. You get a great fight between Johnny Cage and Baraka that actually has a lot of great comedic moments. A good fight between Sonya early on in the film. So there's a lot of great fight choreography, a lot of great action sequences in this movie. What they also do in this is that we get a little bit of backstory. I liked the intro that we have where we're introduced to a young Kitana who is seeing kind of Shao Kahn take out her father, and let that lead into her story going forward and what it might mean of her kind of double crossing Shao Kahn's character eventually. Adeline Rudolph is another great addition to this world. I think she does a really good job as Kitana. And for me, it just makes me look forward to a potential third movie. When I saw the end of the first movie that they were going to introduce Johnny Cage, that made me instantly excited because next to Scorpion, he is my favorite character in the Mortal Kombat games. And I'm not going to lie, on the onset, when I heard that Carl Urban was cast as Johnny Cage, I was a bit nervous because in what I had seen Carl Urban do in terms of his acting, it never made sense to me as the character. I always viewed him again as being more of the Glenn Powell type, obviously very charismatic. And Billy Butcher is charismatic to a different degree in The Boys, but I personally hadn't seen that in Carl Urban's work before. I think it takes a little bit of getting going in terms of Johnny's story and the way that the character is written. I love his intro, given the old school kind of 90s kung fu interpretation of the way his character is, kind of being like a grizzled Chuck Norris type. And as the movie goes along, he kind of understands what the Raiden's plan is and trying to save Earthrealm. And I think that Urban really settles into the character and finds really great comedic beats along the way with this film. And that's the big difference between Mortal Kombat 2 and the first movie. This movie is a lot more fun with the characters. And I think that that does lead to some great moments. There were moments where I was laughing out loud in the theater. Josh Lawson as Kano, again, is just so great. I personally believe he's one of the best actors in this universe thus far. He just really understands the character. Ludi Lin, again, as Liu Kang is awesome. A lot of standouts, I mean, for me in terms of character work when it comes to this. Wanted to see a little bit more from Jade. I really like Tati Gabriel from her work in You, but it didn't see much in terms of what I think she was able to do with Jade. Hopefully that changes going forward. I think it will in a potential third movie. This film has already made $60 million, I believe, at the box office and had a $70 million budget. So it really will be probably trending upward to getting a profit, which is great news, and they'll probably, hopefully, greenlight a third film ASAP. There's a lot of other characters I'd love to see in this world. I'm very curious on who you guys would want to see in this world. But those are a lot of my pros. Now, my cons is still that some of the writing in terms of the character work is still kind of a bit lackluster. But again, going into a movie like this, you kind of expect it. I feel like you're just really there to have a great time, and be entertained by the movie. And I really did. I think that I would like to see a little bit more with the characters. I'd like to understand a little bit more of their backstories, because that is when the Mortal Kombat games get a lot more interesting to me, when we dive into the stories of them. And I'm curious to see what kind of game they're going to adapt, if they do adapt any of the game's storylines going forward with Mortal Kombat 3. But I don't have a crazy amount of cons with this movie. Like I said, it was a really fun time. It's not unbelievable, but it was a fun time in the movies. I would recommend going to see it in a theater. I kind of wish I saw it in IMAX for a lot of the fight sequences, but there's some shoddy CGI at times as well. Again, a smaller budget than typical kind of big budget fare, but I think they do a great job with what they have. And again, Carl Urban is an A+ for me when it comes to Johnny Cage. Looking forward to seeing what they do with these characters moving forward. In terms of a score, I'm going to give Mortal Kombat 2 a 6.5. I think like I said, it's a fun movie. It's entertaining. Can't go much higher than that, because there's a lot of other films that I've seen this year that I enjoy a lot more. But it's going to be a fun time at the movies. If you're a fan of the video games and you weren't a fan of the first movie, I really think this is a good time to come back into the story. I think you're really going to enjoy where they decide to go with the story of Mortal Kombat 2. But that is my short review of the film. Those are my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you guys like the movie? Did you guys love the movie? A lot more than I did. Did you guys dislike the movie for any reasons? Who are characters that you were happy to see debut in this film? Who are characters you want to see moving forward if we get a Mortal Kombat 3? Let me know all that stuff in the comment section. Give this video a like if you guys can, and subscribe to us here at the Culture Wave Media Network. We also have all our social media stuff below me in the video, and it's also in our YouTube description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
This is the culture.